Next, we have Martin Truex Jr. And Martin drives the number 78 Furniture Row Visser Precision Chevrolet for Front Row Motorsports. Furniture Row. I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong thing here. I'm so sorry.
You all
My
right?
bad. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay?
I was looking at the wrong deal here. But anyhow, Martin's last trip into this media center, I believe, was when you won the race back in June. And that punched your ticket into the chase. And, had to be a very, very big win for you and Furniture Row and the race team. So just talk about that. You're coming back here now, having a win under your belt. Have to feel good about this racetrack.
Yeah, definitely. Feels a little different coming back this time for sure. Feels good. It was definitely a huge weekend for us, for all of us. For me, my team, for Barney, just everybody that's put so much effort into Furniture Row Racing and the 78 car. So definitely feels good to be back. Hopefully we can repeat on what we did last time. Obviously, it's not going to be easy, but I feel like we're up for the challenge. So a few differences in the racetrack with the tunnel turn being smooth again. I think that that certainly makes it a little bit easier on everybody else. I kind of like the challenge of the bumps just because obviously we had them seem like figured out pretty good, but so far the cars felt good today. Feel like we'll have a good run for qualifying, and looking forward to a great weekend.
Questions now for Martin Truex Jr. If you have one, raise your hand. We'll start here with Jim, and then we'll go to Kyle.
Jim Motor, motorsports.com. Martin, you since your win here, you had a couple accidents that you got caught up in, but one thing is you hadn't led a lap since that race. Is there anything different about the team since that win? Is it somewhat more circumstances, or do you feel your team is any different or capable than it was when you were here previously?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely ran into kind of a string of bad luck there with Sonoma and Daytona, getting caught up in crashes, and I feel like we had a really good car at New Hampshire, one of the better cars I've had in quite a few years actually, and got caught a lap down by the caution and had to come from the back and finish 12th, I think, in 45 laps or so. And then last week, Indy, I thought we had a pretty good car. We never had the speed that we needed to lead, but we did have a good top five. So it's been a little bit up and down here lately, but I feel like we still have speed in our race cars. We really haven't been to any tracks where we feel like we've really performed well at. No mile and a halves. Places like Dover where we led the most laps. Places that I tend to run really well at. So. I think we've got some more good tracks coming up, and certainly the team. I feel like we still have that momentum. We just kind of had some bad luck along the way. We're obviously looking for more speed, just like everybody is. I think everybody is, everybody's stepping up the program as the season goes on, and we're trying to do the same thing. So, brought a new car here, trying to be better than last time, and hopefully that'll play out.
We'll go to Kyle, and then we'll go to Mike.
Kyle Magda, Wilkes-Barre Times leader. Martin, last 3 weeks you've run 3 different rules packages. What's it been like adapting to those changes, and also being in the same package today as it was at Loudon and also when you won at Pocono in June?
Yeah, it hasn't been that big of a deal driver-wise as far as adapting to the packages. I think it's all relative. It's more about where your race cars. When they take downforce off everyone, the good cars are still seem like they're the good cars. Certainly I think some guys have, definitely put more effort into the other rules packages than we did. I heard stories of people going to the wind tunnel 10 to 15 times before racing either one of those packages, and I think we went once or twice. So, that's one area where maybe we're at a little bit of a disadvantage, just funding-wise, the amount of money coming into our team, but. I think we've done a good job. We had a really good car at Kentucky in the low downforce and hit some debris on the racetrack and pretty much ruined our race. And felt like we were pretty good in the high downforce last week at Indy too. So the guys have done a good job of adapting. As far as the driving goes, it's a little bit different, but it's still all about getting the most you can out of your race car and out of your team and all the things you do together. So it really hasn't been a huge change, I don't think, for us.
Thank you.
Over here to Mike. Raise your hand, Mike.
Mike Embry, USA Today. This is the same car as a few weeks ago, and are you guys yet in the process of maybe looking to save or protect your better cars for the chase?
It's not the same car. And no, I think honestly at this point we're constantly working on getting better, constantly working on trying to find more speed, and you know, I don't think we have anything set aside, you know, car-wise that we feel like is better than we can build going forward. So that's the plan. The team's pushing hard, they're working hard, and you know, trying to do everything they can to you know, to keep getting better again, because you got to stay with the competition. Things change so fast around here that you got to work hard. So Cole and the guys are doing a good job with that, and hopefully we'll be able to get back to, you know, leading laps and putting ourselves in position to win some more races.
Go over here to the left, my man Dominic.
Dominic Ottigo on the RacingExperts.com. So, since you won here in June, how much more pressure do you put on yourself and your race team this week?
Not any different than any other weekend, I don't think. You know, obviously, you know, we have that bit of a safety net, so to speak, and you know, I think we can. You tend to take chances a little bit more in this and that, but you know, we're still here to win and get the best finish we can for everyone. And you definitely feel a little more pressure just because, you know, we were so good here last time that, you know, hey, you don't want to screw it up, but at the same time, again, the track's a little bit different, and you know, everybody's getting better. You know, I think the Gibbs cars have proved that, you know, in a couple weeks' time, you can make some really big gains, and I think those guys are, you know, really the cars to beat right now. So we've got to continue to work hard and try to get our stuff better, and you know, try to get up front and start leading laps again and put ourselves in position to win again.
We'll go to Lee and then to Reed.
Lee Spencer, Motorsport.com. How tricky is it with the proposed changes or the not proposed changes that NASCAR has going into the chase? I mean, generally, the game plan has been, let's use the summer races and the races before to set up our notebooks so we have something accurate and current that we can use and kick butt in the chase. And if the rules do get changed for those races, I mean, how much of it do you have to scramble, and how much are your notes just tossed out the window?
Well, I don't know that it's so much notes and setups and things. I think it's more of, you know, we really geared up this season and put a lot of emphasis on building, you know, our cars and focusing on the rules package we thought we were going to have. And, you know, a small team like ours can't make those big changes and go after a new rules package quite as fast as, say, the bigger teams. You know, I mentioned earlier about the wind tunnel time I heard of, you know, people using just for the high downforce and the low downforce package. You know, we really put all our eggs in that basket of, hey, these are the 15 rules. We developed our whole car around it over the winter and going into the start of the season. And you know, we really hope that it continues down that path. But at this point, we're not really sure what's going to happen. So it's definitely a difficult time for the teams for sure. A lot of money being spent on, you know, wind tunnel time and aero stuff and just trying to figure those things out, but at the end of the day, we don't even know what we're going to have yet. So it's definitely difficult, especially for the smaller teams, to be able to do that.
Reed.
Reed Spencer, NASCAR Wire Service. Martin, from a driver's standpoint, what were your impressions this morning of the Trackside Superstore?
I thought it was awesome. I mean, you know, just from my perspective, you know, I thought it seems a lot more simple. It seems more just more modern and more comfortable, you know, just a nicer area to be in. You know, they got there's shade, there's a little bit of airflow. It's not standing out in the sun, sweating, walking around to try to find your driver's hauler or things like that. And the biggest thing that stuck out for me, you know, we have a souvenir hauler that we share with other drivers, and I'm constantly getting messages on Twitter and on Facebook, and my fans asking me at the racetrack, you know, where do we get your hats? Where do we get your T-shirts? And it's like, well, I don't know where that trailer's at this weekend. So just a lot more simplified, especially for us. And I thought it's a really cool atmosphere out there. It should be fun for the fans, and I think they're going to enjoy it.
Let's go over to the young lady over here.
Kate Moss, CLNS Radio. Martin, next week is Watkins Glen, and we have 3 distinctive turns here at Pocono. How does it help you prepare for next week's road course race?
It doesn't help at all. When you throw right turns in there, it mixes everything up. So it's definitely a lot different than here. But I do love going to Watkins Glen. Definitely looking forward to that race for sure. And it's a fun place to go, fun area. And, you know, can't say enough about the weather up here this weekend. So hopefully we'll get some more of that next weekend at Watkins Glen.
Let's go right over there. Go ahead.
Mine's kind of a follow-up to that. Tyler Burnett, MRN. Because there are no road courses in the chase, would you mind seeing a road course in the chase like Watkins Glen or Sonoma? And why has the racing been so exciting there the past couple of years? What's different about that track than Sonoma?
Yeah, I really enjoy the road courses. I probably wouldn't mind seeing one in the Chase. I would, if I had to pick, I would lean more towards Watkins Glen just because it seems like Sonoma is such a wild card race. It's almost like, a Talladega or Daytona of road courses just because of the layout and the double file restarts and how it all works out there. It's really tight racing, and you can, pretty much, plan on getting knocked off the track at least once throughout the race. So it's difficult, but I think it'd be cool to have a road course in the Chase for sure, and I really do enjoy Watkins Glen a lot.
Any other questions for Martin? We'll come back here to Lee.
Lee Spencer, Motorsport.com. Are you surprised at the developments at Michael Waltrip Racing?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I don't really know a whole lot what's going on, but hearing that Rob is buying into another team is interesting for sure. So, not sure what they've got going on, but it was definitely surprising. Got a lot of friends over there. They have a lot of great people there, and hopefully they'll all land on their feet and figure out some way to keep going.
It's kind of bizarre because you came from Ganassi and went to MWR, and it's kind of like he's doing the back.
You never know in this sport. Things change quickly, especially these days.
How do you think that dynamic's going to work, having worked at both places?
It's been so long since I've been, that year I was at Ganassi for a year, and it was so different then than it is now, just based on who's there and what they're doing and stuff. So it's really hard to say.
Any other questions for Martin? Martin, thank you very much.
you.
Good luck to you in Furniture Row here this weekend, and maybe you can make it 2 in a row.